What up? This is Robert Horry.
Horry, three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Horry for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Horry from downtown.
I know what's going on, Big Shot Bob. It's the holiday season, and everybody's at their house.
Yep.
We got one of those weeks where everyone's doing the show from home. Rob's always home.
Unless I'm in China or H-Town.
Yeah, or we're doing the show live from Shanghai or wherever the hell you are.
On the road.
Yeah, exactly.
On the road with Rob.
That's a whole nother podcast. On the road with Robert Horry. How are you, buddy?
Man, I am good, man. Just a little disappointed after the past weekend, but I'm good.
A little disappointed. You talking about your Crimson Tide?
Yeah.
Getting
Well, they
whooped.
Well, yeah, they were whooped, but they were also saved.
Oh, they were.
Technically, they weren't saved because they were.
They were.
They were in because you can't.
They were in before it started. Yes.
Yeah, they were in before it started, so they weren't saved. They could have only moved out of a bracket. They could have moved up. They couldn't move down and out. They could only moved up.
Well,
they bounced BYU. BYU lost. They bounced them the hell out.
No, they bounced Notre Dame. That's the committee's fault with that one.
BYU too. BYU was ahead of Notre Dame, weren't they?
No, Notre Dame was on the outside looking in. They had to win to get in.
No.
Well, Notre Dame, there is no winning for Notre Dame because they don't play.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, no, we're talking about BYU. Notre Dame should have never been in the first place.
Well,
that's the committee's fault. They should have never put them there, and they should have had Miami there in the first place instead of them.
I mean, I look at it like this. I understand that Alabama played an extra game, which is the title game. But when you're in that kind of game, you don't lose the way that you do. Like, it's...
And they had -3 rushing yards.
Like, that's... And I was surprised. In a way, I'm not surprised, but in a way I am, that because they were sitting at 9, and I would have thought with them losing that way, I can understand it being a 3-loss team if that game was close. But the fact that it wasn't close, I'm surprised that the committee a little bit, kept them, not only kept them in, but kept them where they were.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because you go back to last year. You set the rule, you set the precedent then, and so now you think about this. This is the second time they play in Georgia, and so I wasn't worried when they lost. I was like, if they'd have got smacked by like 40 points, I'd been worried then. But no,
you got beat by 21.
Yeah.
40 and 20 is a different story.
It could have been 28 points easily, though.
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
But and also, the committee probably like, oh, they running backs out, something out of the ordinary happened, block punt, So
wait a minute, sir. Wait a minute, Mr. Jam Miller don't matter that much.
No, he doesn't matter that much. But I'm just saying though. They should have been in.
I know. Well, look,
because of their record, the strength of schedule and their record, they should have been in on that alone.
You can fight all day about Alabama.
Yeah.
Notre Dame deserved to be in, I think.
You do,
but
think?
I do. Based on the way they played. Now, I've no love. No, I know. There's a U over my shoulder. I'm well aware. I'm a Miami guy. I get it. I totally get it. But I think Notre Dame had a legitimate conversation to say we belong there. Now, when it comes down to Notre Dame and Miami beat them head-to-head. Miami has to get the nod. That's like a no-brainer. Mm-hmm. But all this, there's nothing funnier to me than the whole world turning on Notre Dame this week. That to me is the funniest shit ever, because everybody on the planet was like, oh, you're going to take your football and go home? You don't want to play a bowl game because you can get in the play? Okay, fine. You're the worst fans in America. Like when Paul Feinbaum, who was always defending Notre Dame, is like, shut up. Shut up and get out of here. You know that the whole world is turned on you at that point.
Yeah, because, look, man, the rooster's coming home to crow pretty much. And, for a long time, their independence, at least in football, because they're ACC in every other sport.
Mm-hmm.
Their independence when it comes to football is now that tree is really being shaken now, because now what you're looking at is, hey, we did in the regular season. We don't even have a chance to play in a title game because we're not in the conference, which puts them at an advantage because, look, we don't have to play an extra game. At some point in time, you're going to have to join the conference. If you're wanting to, look, I understand from a revenue and a money standpoint, it benefits you and I get it. But if you're wanting people to take you as seriously as you want them to take you, you either join the ACC or you join the Big Ten. Either one of them. But this whole crying thing because you didn't get in when this thing has benefited you for so long, and now you want to run and cry and take your ball home because now you're not one of the teams in the 12. I don't care. Bye.
Yeah. And plus, for me, if you look at their schedule, who do they play?
They have Miami.
They played Miami and Texas A&M. They almost beat Texas A&M at home.
Yeah, but you lost to both of them.
Yeah, you lost to both. But after that, your schedule sucked.
Well, they played a ton of 8-loss teams. They played the worst team in the SEC, the worst team in the ACC. Like they played horrible teams.
Have y'all seen their schedule next season?
Only team they played worth a damn was Southern Cal. That would they not
Southern
that
Cal
damn good
need
either.
That game though. Yeah, they don't need that. What is Notre Dame's schedule next year?
I think the only team they're playing next year that's even worth anything is Miami.
Well, let's go ahead and look. Notre Dame's football schedule for 2026. Notre Dame's the first thing that pops up. Notre Dame's 2026 schedule is embarrassing. It's the first thing that pops up in Google.
Yep.
All right, well, I'm looking. Let me see if I can't find it. Notre Dame football schedule 2026. All right, here you go. Ready? 2026 versus Wisconsin. Horrible. Versus Rice.
Bad.
Michigan State. At Purdue. At North Carolina. At Navy. Navy's not bad. Versus Miami. That's in South Bend.
Mm-hmm.
Boston College.
Mm-hmm.
who was dreadful. SMU, they were okay this year.
Is that quarterback staying though next year?
Oh, probably not. No. I think he's gone. And then at Syracuse, and then Stanford, and then USC. So yeah, they play a couple of teams.
One team, or two teams. I don't know about Miami next year, but
they still have that receiver. It's going to come down to they still got their receivers. They still got the line. It's going to come down to what they can keep defensively and who they can get a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. At some point in time, I've always thought that Notre Dame, I understand that depending on the year, they can play a heavy ACC schedule or a heavy Big Ten schedule, and sometimes there's a mix. I've always thought that they should be just from a regional standpoint, that they should join the Big Ten. I just think they fit in the Big Ten more. Now, if they want to join a conference and they want an easier road, obviously the ACC is the place for you to go.
Sure. They're never going to do it.
They're never going to do it.
Especially now, they'll never join the ACC now.
Well, it's severed now.
Yeah. That's done. It's done and gone. But it is hysterical to me the whole world is turning on Notre Dame. I do love that.
I love it too.
So
I've always been a Notre Dame hater.
Oh yeah. Well, I've never had any faith in them, but this week's game is called Take Your Ball and Go Home. So we'll get to that later in the show. I have true false questions about people or teams that just quit. You have to guess which ones are true or false. So we'll play that a little bit later in the show. Well, look, while we're on college football, we might as well go through kind of what went down this weekend. Dude, for what it's worth, there's 10 teams that opted out of their bowl games this season. So it's not just Notre Dame. Yes, there are 10 teams. Notre Dame, Kansas State, Kansas, Iowa State, Florida State, Auburn, UCF, Baylor, Rutgers, and Temple all opted out of their bowl games this season. Now, I think part of that is this is the road you're going to walk in college football now because you are basically the NFL junior. You're minor league sports. We've talked about this. With NIL and with what's on you don't have to play. A bowl game doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to get that money anymore. What do you get for winning the Valero Bowl? You know what I mean? Or the Music City Bowl. You don't get anything for it. You get a little stupid trophy. Yeah, you get bowl gifts and a trophy.
You get a little swag. You get a check.
You get a check, but guess what? You got boosters now. You got NIL funds going now. Unless you're coming up short. But I feel like people could still participate in these because it's like the tradition of college football. But
who cares about tradition and big money?
That's it now, right? Tradition's dying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you've got a lot of teams that opted out. We went. I'll give you our picks this week. I know we have some NBA stuff to get to. We'll get to it, but it's college football week for me. The Big 12 championship game. We talked about it. BYU lost to Texas Tech. They got thumped 34.
They got dog walk.
Dude, they got absolutely. B-Dog Rob, you both picked Texas Tech. I picked the Cougars. I had to eat that fat load of garbage. So I lost that one. SEC title game we talked about. Rob and I both picked the Dogs. Heart rolled with Bama.
I thought it was going to be close, and it surely was not.
It was not, man. It was a blowout. What else did we have? Big Ten championship game. How about Indiana, man? Indiana beats Ohio State 13-10. I did not. Rob and I both picked Indiana. Art picked Ohio State. I don't know why I picked Indiana. I put that down as a loss, that I went back and checked it. I'm like, I picked Indiana? What the hell was I thinking? I think Rob talked me into that.
And they take over. It's crazy to see them as the number one overall seed.
Yeah,
it's crazy to see that.
Indiana.
And I just need Bama to beat Oklahoma. Then we got a test right down the street.
I will tell you
right
this.
Down the street.
I will tell you this, Rob. I applied this saying to the same way I applied it when Georgia played Alabama. It's tough to beat the same team twice in a year. Here's you all's issue. Yeah. They beat you in Tuscaloosa. This game is in Norman.
Hey, and don't forget, it was homecoming for us, too.
Oklahoma has no offense.
They had enough offense to beat Alabama the first time.
Yeah, but then their quarterback he's got one hand, and I mean, they've lost some guys. They've got no offense. They've got a great defense.
That defense beat us when we played them in Bama.
Defense.
So the defense,
we threw
two special teams and defense. So, yeah.
And then the ACC championship game, I got the chaos that I wanted. Duke upsets Virginia, 27-20. I was the only. Rob picked UVA. Harp and I both picked Duke.
Yeah.
So Rob went 3-1. B-Dog went 2-2. I went 3-1 last week. So your playoff field kind of shapes up like this: Alabama at Oklahoma on the 19th. That's I think a Friday night game at 8 o'clock.
I think that's the opening game.
Yeah, it is the Friday night game. Current spread. We're not picking these this week. I'm just giving them to you. Current spread's Bama -2.5. The winner will play number 1 Indiana. So that's a good one. Miami, number 10 Miami at Texas A&M. That is the noon game on Saturday. A&M's laying 3.5. The winner will move on to play Ohio State. It's a pretty interesting game there. Miami and Texas A&M. And this is where I start to get pissed.
Yeah,
number 11, Tulane. At number 6, Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a 16.5 point favorite. What are we doing?
Yeah.
At what point is Tulane and James Madison promised a spot in this playoff over teams like Notre Dame or Vanderbilt or BYU, or Texas, all of which you had a legitimate argument for those two slots. But no, we got to include the Power 5 teams, the G5 teams. No, you don't. You don't. Scrub this rule. It sucks. James Madison at Oregon. Oregon's a 21.5 point favorite.
Yeah.
Those two games are going to be complete and total blowouts, and that's not shit on those two teams. They can't compete. Ole Miss and Oregon are worlds better than them.
You're right. You're absolutely right. But something tells me that those two games might have a little bit more fight in them than we think.
Is this something alcohol that tells you that? Because
no.
I don't know where you're pulling that from.
Well, it is noon. But no, this is complete sober, no alcohol involved. This is no liquid courage whatsoever. This is all just me thinking about, what everybody is thinking about, knowing that, you got a 21-point spread and you got a 16-point spread. James Madison and Tulane see this just like the big dogs see it. And I think they're playing with some level of house money. And I'm not going out on a limb and saying it's going to be close, but what I am saying is there's a lot of pride on the line for those teams. And
I get that. Yeah.
We saw Tennessee last year lay an egg. Who did they play last year in the playoffs?
Oh, they got
Arizona
torched by
State.
Somebody. Yeah. Maybe
Was Arizona State?
Yeah.
No, I think it was
they got
Ohio
cooked
State.
by somebody. No, who did Tennessee?
They got cooked by Ohio State.
But that don't really count.
Ohio State count because but Tennessee's a big dog. Tennessee is a powerful.
It was Ohio
conference.
State. Yeah, they lost 42-17 to Ohio State.
Yeah,
they got cooked, man.
What was the spread in that game?
Oh, I don't know. I have no clue. I would have to go dig for that. But
I'm pretty sure they wouldn't. They
it was
were not
probably
supposed to lose.
It was probably a touchdown, maybe at the most.
Right, and they lost by what, 3 touchdowns?
Yeah, they lost by 21. Yeah.
So I mean, you're talking about Tennessee. No one saw Tennessee going to Ohio State and getting their head beat in.
I did, but Tennessee wasn't that good.
No,
so
they
is
weren't.
Tennessee better than James Madison and Tulane?
Yes. Yes, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but yes.
You compare it to last. Oh yeah, dude. You got to think about the prep, who they had to play and get ready for it. Like, it's a difference when you play someone like, oh, I'm playing against this number 1 linebacker in my conference, and I got fucking DBs that are that size and the SEC and the Big Ten. I'm like, hold on, now, damn. You know,
Right.
it goes. You know, one of my good friends just passed away, Eldon Cameron, and I'm glad we hit this because I remember when we played them when I was in Alabama. We played Clemson, and you know, I'm SEC, right? I'm okay. And then this is the first time where I was sitting on the fucking sideline shaking my leg because, man, Eldon Cameron was 6'10", like 250. Dale Davis was like 6'10", 250. Here I am, 6'9", 195. I'm over to shake my fucking leg because I'm like, God damn, where these big ass dudes come from? And it you know, it can motivate you or it can make you go into your shell. And for me, I had Marcus Webb, who was 6'8", 275, who was like my enforcer that could like take some of that off me. So it's going to be interesting. The James Madison score, I'm probably going to roll with James Madison because I watched a couple of their games. That running back they got is a dog. So I like him. On the Tulane one, oh, shit, they going to get dog whooped. So,
Listen,
yeah.
to your point, James Madison's schedule this year, they played Weber State. They got blown out by Louisville, who's probably the only good team on their schedule. Then they beat Liberty, Georgia Southern, Georgia State, Louisiana, Old Dominion, Texas State, Marshall, App State, Washington State, and Coastal Carolina.
What's their strength of schedule?
Oh, yeah, like 190. And then here's Tulane. Ready? Tulane got absolutely, they whooped Northwestern to open the year. And they were ranked 20th, by the way, at this time. They barely beat South Alabama. They beat
USA.
Duke. Then they got cooked by Ole Miss, 45-10. The only team worth of crap on their schedule.
So they playing them again?
Then they played Tulsa, East Carolina, Army, UTSA, Memphis, Florida Atlantic, my alma mater, God bless, Temple, Charlotte, and then they beat North Texas, who was probably the only other good team on their schedule. North Texas ranked 25th when they beat them in the championship game. So, yeah, now they get, is it Tulane and Ole Miss? Is that who it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tulane and Ole Miss get the rematch. Yeah, they get the rematch. Ole Miss won 45-10 earlier in the season. They eviscerated them. So I don't know. I'm lost on the you have to give these guys a chance argument. I am. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying you just don't know how those games.
Look,
don't know how they'll go.
Sports, right? We play them for a reason because you never know how it's going to go. So I get it.
The one thing I wish they would take out of this, you know, they always talk about adding more teams. Don't give teams buys. I don't think you should get a bye. You know, get out there and just play. You know, because think about last year, every team that had a bye lost.
All right, so here's my question to you guys, and we'll wrap the. I know we got a lot of NBA to get to. We will get to. This will be the last thing on the college football conversation for now. Do we go to a 16-team playoff? Do you think there's value in that? Because then, to your point, Rob, there would be no buys. It would be more the 1-16, 2-15. It would be like the NCAA basketball style bracket.
Well, I think this is the one year you really could do that because you think about the guys on the outside looking in, Notre Dame, BYU, Texas, Vanderbilt. I think those teams,
all 10
teams,
all
good teams, you know, and then throw in Utah. And so I think you could do that because you think about all those teams I just mentioned are ranked higher than Tulane and James Madison.
Oh, yeah.
So,
are either of them even ranked?
Yeah. So I think you should go with, like, they've been perfect, you know, and then the last team would have been USC. And so, you know, or you can put Tulane and North Texas, James Madison in. So now they bump Utah and USC and you put them in. You know, now they got it. Now James Madison plays Indiana, who's number one, you know, and then, you know, it plays Ohio State. And that way, that's a tune-up game for Ohio State and Indiana because they don't have this long way out. Yeah.
But, you know, you always have those moments where a 2 and a 15 meet and somehow the 15 pulls one out. So
that's in basketball.
I know, but I'm just saying. To Harp's point, you play the game for a reason. You never know.
Exactly.
Anybody can beat anybody.
Yeah, and I think that can happen in football too.
Yeah.
But I think at some point in time you might, even just from number one, for the main reason, which is money. The more games you have, the more money it generates. And college football is always gonna look at the monetary standpoint of things and say, okay, cool, yeah, more games means more money and everything like that.
And also, you can make those games, those first round games, all those bowl games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, incorporate the bowls.
Yeah, that all these first games are the bowl games, and now you don't lose up bowl money. Oh, you don't go into the champs, you still get bowl money. You know what I mean? So, and make them play on neutral fields and make it bowl games. Yeah,
I kind of, actually, I kind of like the home games though.
You do?
In a sense, because I think what it does is it incorporates a lot of even though fan bases travel, I think it allows you to incorporate the fan bases of those home teams and having that home tradition and that home feel. I like it. Neutral is cool, but hey, it's something else for you to fight for when it comes to seeding. You may want a first round home game. You want to be able to feel comfortable. We all know how home field advantage and how important it is in college football in general. And I think that matters.
I think if you're a good team, you have to win on the road. Why not win on the neutral site? I think in that way, that also gives the underdog a chance to show you what they can really do. So it's like one-on-one. Ain't no outside help. It's like being in the bubble. Like if your fans want to travel, let them travel. They don't. Let's go. I think for me personally, let's all play on a neutral field. That first round, all bowl games, and let's go from there. Let's get it.
Also, what it does is now you expand obviously when you expand the teams, you also expand how many losses they can have. So now you're possibly looking at more 3-loss teams possibly getting in.
You have a 3-loss team in the 12-team playoff. Who gives a shit?
No. What I'm saying is,
if you look at it right now, there are no 3-loss teams. All the teams I just mentioned.
The 4 teams on the outside looking in are 10-2 or 11-2. Yeah, Texas is the only one with the 3-loss.
Texas and Bama has an extra game. So Texas and Bama are only 3-loss teams that will be in this Sweet 16.
I'm not knocking it.
No, I'm
not knocking it.
Here's the thing: you're already at 12. I have no problem going to 16 at this point.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Make everybody play in that first round. Shit.
I really don't care. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna go to 12, go to 16. You're the genie. The cat's out of the bag. There's no putting the toothpaste back in the tube here. You know what I mean? Like it's out there. Let's go. Let's just go. Because I do feel like there are teams like Vanderbilt who had a year who didn't get in. Notre Dame, fine. You can make the argument either way. BYU is losing their shit online. They're going crazy trying to figure out how they didn't make it into this thing. I think
because you got mollywopped twice.
But then they're like, but a conference championship game's not supposed to count against us, and it's like
you weren't in the first place.
I get it. Look, there's arguments in like 100 directions for this. So it's like if you're at 12 and you want to fight, then take it to 16, and then the 17th and 18th teams out will fight. We'll have that argument.
Yeah, but at some point in time, I think you got to draw the line. Like somebody's always going to get left out because before you know it. It's going to be
We're not good at that in sports.
It's going to be the NCAA. It's going to be the NCAA basketball tournament where we got a field of
68 teams in that. Who cares?
No,
let's go. Let's get Rice football in here somewhere. Come on, man.
Cap it at 16.
Because what happens is you take away the accountability from these teams throughout the season. You're taking away their ability to say, hey, do what you're supposed to do. Because some of these games, for some of these teams, you don't go into these games thinking that, I can lose versus this team and it'll be okay. Because when it comes time for selection, these committee members don't forget. They don't forget.
On the flip side of that, you got guys like Notre Dame that make them never join a conference and play this weak ass schedule, make them look like they Titans and they get in.
Yeah,
so they should be like, Notre Dame, you got to have like someone on your team that's pretty damn good for us to even look at you to getting in because you barely getting by playing these teams that aren't even in a power conference.
Go join a conference.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They should make a conference. Make them join a conference.
Gets in on prestige. That's how they get in. They get in on what we used to do and who we used to be. But
go to the Big Ten. That's the perfect place for you. Go to the Big Ten.
Go to the SEC.
No, don't go
God,
to
no. Why? We don't need that. SEC don't need that.
I understand regional perspective doesn't matter because we have Stanford and everybody else in the ACC. But I think the perfect conference for Notre Dame was the Big Ten.
But the Big Ten is so big now. You think about,
That's why it's called a Big Ten.
Yeah, but it's 20 of them.
Yeah, but it's not the Big Ten anymore. It's like the Big 18.
That's fine.
But you think about, this is what people don't think about. I think about, I was watching, who was it? USC had played someone on the East Coast. And the game came on here like at 10 o'clock. I mean, like not, I know it was early, but it was basically 8 o'clock for USC guys. And the game, I'm like, why are you doing that to these kids, man? The time zone, nobody thinks about the time zone. I'll make these guys play at 11 o'clock on the East Coast. Dude, they just getting up. I'm like, if they was at home. So that's one thing I hate about what they did with all these conferences, because they don't care about the time zone and kids getting proper rest, because that's how you stay away from injury.
All right. Enough college football. We've run that gamut. Let's talk about the most overhyped story of the week, the LeBron streak. I don't know what to make of this story just because it was a stupid story to me. Now, the streak's impressive. 1,297 consecutive games where he scored at least 10 points. But the fact that he dished that final shot off to Rui for the game winner, that's perfect. Like, if you had to pick a way to end a streak like that, you go, okay, I'm going to end it by dishing the ball off to the guy that makes the game-winning. Just perfect. And when they asked him after the game, how do you feel about it? He's like, we won. I don't give a shit. He Mike Maloned it.
I don't give a shit.
He's like, we won the game. What's the point of this? But man, did the media love to jump on this story. Yeah. Oh, they were all over this all week, and it was hysterical to me because it was like, I wanted to just pick your brain on it and see what you thought about it. Because I'm like, I thought it was a great story. But for some reason, man, people couldn't get enough of, oh, well, he should have taken a shot. Or like, come on.
Yeah, I think because you've seen some moments where LeBron, like, got hurt, got in, got the 10 points, and then left the game. So I think that's what some of the things that people are going back on and say, oh, you remember this game where he did this? But I think he's at the point now in his career, he don't give a shit. Well, he just want to win. And I think he made the right play. And that's what LeBron's always been known for. He gets so much criticism by, dude, you should have took that shot. I know in some people's cases that would have been a good shot, but LeBron's age, that would have been a bad shot because it was good defense on him. You got Rui, who's been one of your hottest guys on your team, sitting in the corner, wide ass open, nobody near him. You make the right play. And that's what sometimes, you think about Kobe, you think about MJ. They make the right play when it's necessary. You got a person who's hot, you find them.
Yeah, I loved it. I had no problem with it.
None at all.
But that's been the calling card of his career, always making the right pass, whether a guy makes the shot or misses the shot. LeBron has been ridiculed a lot of the time because, we always compare him. It's the comparisons to Jordan and Kobe. We've seen the thing in the All-Star game when Kobe was still in it and him and Melo looking at him like, dog, take that shot. We've had these debates and these things where the greats have looked at him and they know he's an unselfish player and they know the type of player he is, but they want to see a level, at least another level of aggressiveness from him. We've seen those images. We've seen those clips. But this is who LeBron is. We've always said it. LeBron is more Magic than he is Jordan. Creating for other guys and making the right pass. And it's beautiful when the shot goes down. But when the shot doesn't go down, it's kind of like, well, could he have done something else?
Oh, and that would have been it, right? He misses that shot, and it's he took it to keep the streak alive. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think, hey, as I've gotten older and as I've matured, obviously Kobe being my guy for the killer and the assassin that he is on the floor, you start to really obviously realize that, with LeBron, that's who he makes the right pass. He makes the right play. Whether a guy knocks a shot down or not, he's always tending to look to get some other person involved and not necessarily forcing the shot. And that's who he is, and that's his greatness. And I think if people really want to be objective and understand the game of basketball and really be able to appreciate LeBron for who he is before he decides to walk off into the sunset, they should get to understand that too.
Yeah. But I also think like he's got to know he's toward the end of his career. Even if he's got 2 more years in him or 3, I can't imagine him playing 3 more seasons. If he's got 2 more seasons in him, what's this streak really mean at the end of the day? I mean, you've held it for as long as you've held it. It's an unbelievable record. Your career's winding down. At some point, all these streaks. Like the other one is now he's made the an All NBA team for 21 consecutive seasons, but he's already missed 16 games this season. He misses one more game and he's not eligible. So that streak is going to end too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he's at this point in his career where it's like, man, you've done unbelievable, amazing things for so long that eventually the bill comes due on all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just is the nature of the game. It just catches up to you. Yeah. So I don't know why everybody's harping on him for it though, because it's like he came out with fourth quarter against Philly. He was all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He had a bomb fourth quarter, and he came out and he basically took that game over. So he still has that gear in him. Who gives a shit if he has a game?
Yeah.
He doesn't score 10, whatever.
And plus, you got to think about it. He's trying to get in shape now. He's still in shape, And I think that was one of the games against. You could tell, like when watching that Philly game, it's like he felt a lot better than he had in the previous
more like
game.
himself for sure.
Yeah, he looked a whole lot better.
Well, I mean, no surprise here. The sun rises, the sun sets. And the Oklahoma City Thunder continue to roll. They've ripped off a franchise record, 15 straight now. They are 23-1. They've only lost one damn game so far this season. We're 25 games and 24 games into the season. They've lost a game.
And then they mollywop Utah without Shea.
Killed them without Shea.
Yeah, I'm like, Jesus.
They're running away right now in the West, which is crazy to think this early in the season to see a team just take off like that. The Lakers and the Nuggets are right there at 17-6, and then the Rockets, Spurs, and Timberwolves all right behind them, 15-16 wins. So you got a nice little group behind them, but it's just OKC all day right now in the West. Meanwhile, in the East, Pistons 19-5, and then from the Knicks at number 2, who are 16-7. To the Hawks at number 9, who are 14-11. It's basically 2 games between 8 teams in the East. So this every day when you look at those standings, or every day when you see them shuffle, it's like, oh, the Hawks are 2. The Hawks are 8. Like, how did that happen? They dropped like 10 spots. It's just the East right now. It's crowded, but
really crowded,
yeah.
And it's this shuffle in the standings that's going to happen all season.
Constantly.
It's going to happen all season.
But there's a grouping, and there's a pack of the teams in the West that look like they're starting to kind of pull ahead a little bit. So I'm anxious to see, like, once we get through the holidays and you start to get into January, February, where some of those teams at the top of the West start to stand. Like, do they come back down to the middle, or does that group of like 4 or 5 teams start to continue to distance themselves? Because they're starting to get a few games out on everybody, and it's going to be a long road back. Speaking of long roads back, do you want to talk about the Kuminga stuff?
This shit was that.
It's so he didn't play the other night. He got a DNP, coach's decision. And he just says after the game, he says the right things, right? He's like, well, Steve changed some stuff up, and they wanted to get some different guys in there. And Kerr's argument is, well, we've got a lot of mouths to feed on this roster, and he does that whole dance. But I'm like. Mm-hmm. To me, this is really, Rob, this is to your point. This is crystal clear that the two of them are not getting along. And they could say anything they want to the contrary, but to me, it's screamingly evident. Steve Kerr don't like this guy. Either he doesn't like his game, or he doesn't like the way he plays, or I don't know what the hell it is, but there's something about this relationship that just stinks, man.
It stinks more than hot garbage. And I think at the end of the day, you need to just say, yo, you know what? What do you want to do? Do you want to stay or do you want to go? And just, put him out there and cut him and just say, hey, if someone picks you up, they pick you up. And let the guy find another home, because this is a disservice to the kid, because the kid can play. And just because this is when I hate about coaches let their feelings get in the way. If you should have said, as a coach, have some balls when he got ready to sign. Said, no, I don't want him back. I don't want him back.
Right. If you didn't want him, then just own that.
Yeah. And then you bring him in, you play him a couple of games, and he has success. Then you're like, whoa, you're looking too good. Sit your ass over with it. So, and you just you shouldn't just let the kid go, man. You're doing him a disservice, because this is this guy's livelihood. Don't play with it. Let him go.
Trade him at the trade deadline.
Get something for him.
Yeah, because he's too good for you to just cut him. But you trade him. Because obviously you can see the way that he's being treated, and whatever Kerr may have against him or whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
To be one of the younger pieces on that team, vital pieces on that team, and he's not being utilized the way that he probably should be. See what you can get back for him, because you're not just you can't just have him sitting down and being a healthy scratch and, all these other things. Nah,
yeah, he can't be catching DNPs just because Kerr wants to see what else he's got on the bench.
But Kerr likes to do it. But you think about this. If I tell you, I got a guy. He's averaging 12 and 6 in the NBA. You like, oh, shit, he about to get max contract. And this is what he's averaging, 12 and 6 for a guy on a team that got a lot of gunners, but he's still getting 12 and 6. I know this day in NBA, 12 points is like 5 points when I played, but still, though, we're in this era. He's averaging 12 and 6 and probably doesn't get any plays ran for him because the coach don't like him. And he on a team that's like, no, they should just let him go, man. Let him go. Let him find another home.
Since he came back, he's averaging 7.8 points on 30% shooting since his return. So it's like, but I think a lot of that has to do with, like you said, Rob, opportunity. If he's got no opportunity and he's got no plays run for him and there's no pace set for him, he's gonna take a shot every now and then when he can get one. It's not gonna look good for him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, I think, are due to Luka Dončić, who welcomed his second daughter. Yeah, he has a second daughter. And they asked him about it in the postgame this week. Here's what he had to say.
I mean, it's just the best thing in the world. Obviously, 2 girls. They're gonna make my life hell for sure. I know that. And it's gonna be the security after I retire. So, but all jokes aside, it's the best thing in the world.
Sure it is, but he's right. They're gonna make his life hell. 2 girls? Oh, God bless them. I have a 13-year-old. She's already running us all over the place. I was like, 2 of these? Oh, I'd be in trouble. I'd be in trouble. We had 3 boys at one point, and I was like, I'll deal with that. I'll take 3 boys all day. Tonka trucks and Legos, and that's great. Fighting over who wants to use the computer first, I'll take that all day over this girl shit. Man, it's girls a whole different world.
Girls are so expensive.
Oh, my God. Makeup.
Things you have to buy that you don't have to buy for a boy.
I did not know, and this is genuinely, I feel like this is a game for maybe next week's show. I had no clue how expensive makeup was. I didn't know. I went to my daughter got like a $50 Ulta gift card from my stepmother. She goes to we take her to Ulta. $50. She got like this little tiny thing of foundation. And I was like, "What else did you get?" She's like, "This is $48." I was like,
Jesus.
I'm like, damn.
Are you got to be kidding me? I almost passed out. I mean, that store, they rob you.
Hey, she better take her ass to Sephora. It's a little cheaper in there.
It ain't that much cheaper. I got news for you, man. So, yeah, the cost of makeup's crazy. So, God bless Luka. He's got a lot of that coming down his way. While we're throwing out congrats, big milestone for James Harden. He cracked the top 10 all-time in scoring. He passed Carmelo Anthony. 28,303 points in climbing. That's awesome. He's playing for the 6-18 Clippers. Oh, boy. They are the second worst team in the West.
I think we all put the Clippers as that team to make the playoffs.
I think I did.
Hey, I think we had a quarter of the games played, right? 1/4 of the. I think we need to reassess our picks.
You have them written down, right?
No, I don't have mine written down, but
all right. I'll go back and find ours. I'll go find ours. I have every show archived. I'll go find our picks, and we'll bring them back up next week. Make a note. We got to reassess our picks for next week. But I'm sorry, what were you gonna say, Hart?
No, I was saying, well, I didn't have the Clippers in my playoff picture.
Oh, come on. You didn't have them in at all?
Well, I only also wrote down the 6 from each conference. I didn't do the play-in. I wrote down the surefire and play-in playoff teams.
You didn't have them in your 6.
Right.
All right, that's fair.
But I'll say James Harden, just like a lot of throughout his career, he is playing for, personal achievements.
He's playing for James Harden.
Yeah, But, I mean, at this point in time, he's never going to win a title. So, all he has left is climbing up the scoring rankings. He's won his MVP. What does he have? 2? Does he have 1 or 2?
Just 1.
I want to say 1.
He has 1. He's made 11 All-Star games. I think he's been like a 8-time All-NBA or something like that. So he's gonna be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done.
Oh, I agree.
It's just, but that's his legacy. He's in the Patrick Ewing and Charles Barkley area with great players who never won a ring. So
Yeah, but all right, hold on. So, but Charles Barkley and Patrick Ewing also played for very good teams, and teams that were in contention more often than not.
Well, James played for some good teams.
Yeah, no, he did. But the Clippers right now, with the on the backs of James Harden and Kawhi to an extent, have lost 7 of their last 8, 16 of their last 19. They are the 4th worst team in the NBA and the 2nd worst in the West. They are not getting it done. Like, there's a difference between I'm a great player, but you're not elevating your team to a win. It's just not. It's not happening for the Clippers. Now, I know there's other elements involved there. I get it. Mm-hmm. But truly great players find a way not just to score, but to get their teams a win. Those guys cannot seem to do it right now. The Clippers cannot find a win with both hands and a flashlight.
Yeah.
They can't do it. Rob, have you talked to Ty at all?
No.
Hey,
I feel bad for Ty, man. That mother, hey, he looked like he's 90 years old. How great he is right now.
He aged like Obama in the White House.
Damn.
Man. Yeah.
That's why. Hey, exactly. I'm like, Ty, you might need for your health, man. You might say this is my last season. You made a lot of damn money. I'm like, go sit your ass down somewhere, man, because I want you to live a long time. That shit's stressing your ass out.
Yeah, he started the Clippers as 2008 Obama. And he's starting to look like 2016 Obama, a head full of gray hair, stressed, needs a cigarette. You know what I mean? Like just that whole, they're
battling
there, man,
him, dealing with, Bradley Beal's injury, then dealing with the Kawhi stuff,
all the off-court stuff, and then his name's come up a bunch and all this other crap with Damon Jones and all that stuff. So it's like he's just, dude, he's got to be, he's having a rough road right now. That man, his
really
team
rough.
Can't buy a win. And trust me, Steve's trying to. He's throwing his money everywhere he can to try and buy a win. He can't do it. So I want to, before we get to some other big shot of the week, and we're going to play this week's game, which is take my ball and go home, which I think is going to be fun. I want to talk briefly about B. You've talked a lot about him on the show. Jalen Johnson.
Damn.
I mean,
baller,
dude. He's averaging more points than Karl Anthony Towns, more rebounds than Giannis, and more assists than Shea. He has, across his last 5 outings, he's averaging 30 points, 13.8 rebounds, 10.3 assists in just shy of 40 minutes. Back-to-back triple-doubles to close out that stretch. His lines against recently have been 29, 12, and 12, 41, 14, and 7, 29, 13, and 7. A ridiculous 21, 18, 16 game against the Nuggets. That is insane. Mm-hmm. And 30, 12, and 12 in Saturday's win over the Wizards.
And that Nugget game hurt, too, because there were so many – the Hawks were up by at least 20 at the half. I mean, they made the Nuggets look abysmal at the half, and obviously in Nugget fashion, and them being the veterans that they are, they fought back, took the lead. Then they end up losing the lead, and it came really down to the wire, and Nuggets were able to pull that game out. And that game really, really hurt because you got to get a Nuggets team on your floor. You got to get a win in that. But Jalen is
that young man.
He's only 23, and his game from a numbers perspective is looking very LeBron-esque. His ability to go downhill with speed and finish at the rim. Like, he's one of the most athletically gifted guys in the NBA. And you can tell, obviously, his passing ability and his vision, that he's worked on that tremendously. But all of this stuff we saw all of this starting prior to his injury last year that sidelined him for the rest of the year, which is the thing that hurts so much. Because for him to obviously pick up from where he left off and to be where he is, could you imagine where he'd be if he played all of last season? Like, that work cannot go unnoticed. Like, what the amount of season that he missed because of his shoulder, and we're looking at where he is now. Imagine if he would have played all last season. Can you imagine him being even better than what he is now?
I think, sometimes people don't look at this. Sometimes when you get injuries like that, you really find your skills. You refine your skills. You look at little things, but you got a lot of time. And I think this injury probably helped him. He was great last year, but I think, you go back and look at when Steph hurt his wrist, he came back stronger, and all his shots now look like they're effortless because he worked on his body. And I think with him, it looked like he worked on his body. He worked on his skill set, because when you injured, you doing skills. you in the lab and you working on certain things because you know you're not going to play. So I need to work on A, B, C, and D because I suck at it. Now I got that down. Let me expand this, this repertoire a little bit more. So I look at him. He was great last year, but I think this injury put him in a position to be even better because he was able to like take all his weaknesses while he was out and work on that. Because Christian, my son, turned me on to him. He thought, man, he like, are you seeing Jalen Johnson's stats? I said, no. I said, Harp, talk about him all the time. He like, dude, this dude is good. And the reason, because his brother played with Christian last year at UCLA, and he was like, wow. I'm like, now that I kind of watch him because Christian makes me watch him, and I'm like, damn, this dude, he's on the rise, man. So, and then I was like, and then he was talking, of course, you know what happened next, what we talked about next. Do we need Trey? I'm like, hell no. Trey gonna take away from this guy. Get rid of Trey now. That's what I'm saying. Get rid of Trey now because
you're gonna get rid of Trey now, but
you trade him because I think he can, he can hamper him. Because I'm not comparing. I'm just saying. You think about when Shea was it with the Clippers, how the superstar was hampering him, but they got rid of Then Shea, like, oh shit, Shea can really play now that he has his own team. Jalen has his own team right now, so it's kind of reverse situation. To me, I think if you do bring Trey back, Trey's going to interfere with this kid because I don't see Trey being the type of guy that's like, oh, I'm gonna play off the ball. I'm going to take a backseat to somebody.
Well, it's going to be interesting. I think the Hawks are in an interesting situation because I think if the report is true, we could possibly see Trey before the new year with the, after having an MCL sprain. And I think it's going to be really interesting and really something to look forward to see how, Trey kind of reinserts himself into the fold and whose game it really affects and whose game has to take a back seat and how it affects the team as a whole. Because right now they're 14 and 11. They have no problem scoring. Now, defensively, they could be a lot better. There needs to be a lot more defensive intensity. And part of that is because Porzingis plays every other game. He's dealing with, some condition that's really not allowing him really to play back-to-backs. And that affects defensively and guys have to exert more effort. But as far as scoring the ball, this team has not dropped off at all from being able to score. Nickeil Alexander-Walker has had an offensive resurgence that maybe a lot of people did not expect. You expected him to bring some level of defense, but, he putting up 30, 25. His shooting has gotten a lot better. As a whole, this team without Trey has been playing really well, and they've kept their head above water, and they've been competitive in pretty much every game. So it's going to be interesting when Trey gets back to see how he reinserts himself back into this fold and where things start to ascend and where some other things start to drop off. So it's going to get real interesting going into the new year. That's all I'm going to say.
I like it though. Give it an experiment. You know what I mean? Like give it whatever it is. Obviously Trey's going to play. It's not never going to happen. So now you get to reassess. Quinn Snyder's got to reassess. How do these guys look with each other on the floor? Are they finding ways to make this work? Are they being cooperative? Is one suffering for the other? And then you can really sort of see at that point, okay, well then what's our best move? What's our best trade? What's our best option? How are we going to make this work?
And what it also does, it's a win for the Hawks because it keeps you interesting. It keeps your name in the national media. It keeps your name circulating. People are now looking at you. It's not just secluded to Atlanta and the South, but nationally they're looking at you because not only are they seeing Jalen take the next step and the Hawks playing pretty well, but now it's like, oh, can they keep this up with Trae Young back? Is Trae Young going to, bring them down? Is he going to take them to another level? How good could they be? Are they going to get worse? So it keeps you relevant. And I think that's something that the Hawks have been needing for quite some time.
Oh, big time. All right, let's do Big Shot of the Week, and then we're going to play Take Your Ball and Go Home in honor of Notre Dame. Big Shot of the Week is going to go to retired officer Wade Millard, and here's why. He's a former canine officer in the Frederick Police Department, which is in Maryland, just outside of D.C. He was responding before he retired to a domestic dispute at a homeless camp, and something asked him in his brain, ask them about their laundry. And he asked them, how do you clean your clothes? And they said that they wash them in a nearby creek about once every couple of weeks. Because obviously, if you're unhoused, you're homeless, You don't have access to laundry. So for some reason, this clicked with him. When he retired in January, he started a company called Fresh Step Laundry, where he built himself a mobile laundromat. And he goes to around his community. He finds the unhoused, and he offers them, I'm going to read the quote, to help restore dignity to the unhoused community by providing free, accessible, and hygienic laundry services. So he helps them clean their clothes, get themselves clean, and he does this free of charge. It's just like he felt like this was his calling to do after he retired from the force. They've washed 2,000 pounds of laundry in the last few weeks alone. And his next goal is to add a second vehicle so he can double the number of people that he's trying to help serve. So, dude, it's something that never even crossed my mind. And this dude made it his mission. So big shot, Officer Millard. That's pretty awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But people helping people, you know what I'm saying? And trying to find out ways that you can, things that you can create and ways that you can help people, you know, ease some of the burdens that
Dude,
they
never
have.
crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of homeless people, you know, when you think homeless, you think there's something mentally wrong with people. Some people just fall on hard times. They still got their sense, and they just, you know, this could be a way, I got my suit clean, now I can go into this job interview and get a job. So yeah, that's a big shot for him to help people out like that. Because that's something I would have never thought of either.
Never even crossed my mind. But he's right. I mean, the fact that they're washing their clothes in a creek is like, that can't be hygienic. That can't be healthy. So big shot of the week to him. That's pretty awesome. All right, let's game. This game's called Take Your Ball and Go Home. I'm going to read you guys a story, and you just got to tell me, is it true or false? Did it really happen or did it not happen? And this is how it's going to go. Vontae Davis of the 2018 Buffalo Bills retired at halftime. He changed into street clothes and he left the stadium. True or false? Vontae Davis retired at halftime.
True.
That's true. God rest his soul too. So I think he's the one that passed away not too long ago. A couple of years ago. Yeah.
Right, a couple of years ago. Yes. But that is true. Vontae Davis retired at halftime. I love that story.
Yep.
All right, let's go back to 1954 when the NBA's Baltimore Bullets quit the league mid-season. They literally folded the team 14 games into the year. Is that true or is that false?
What year is this?
1954. Rob's racking his brain.
I know it, right? I think that's false.
Okay.
I think it's false too.
Oh, okay. No, it's true.
Oh, dang.
It actually happened, yeah.
I know the story was true, but I thought he was trying to trick us with more.
No. All right, number 3. NBA role player Lonnie Kravitz retired mid-season after a trade he didn't like, telling his new team, quote, he needed time to process things, and then he simply never reported after being traded.
Who?
Lonnie Kravitz.
Is he related to Lenny?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. I think this is false.
I'm going to say false too.
Yeah, there's no Lonnie Kravitz.
I'm like, I've never heard nobody named.
Rob's going through his roster. He's like, who he play for?
I'm like, Lonnie Kravitz?
Hey, running it down his brain. All right, number 4. NFL wideout Jordan Sutter quit the team after a film session argument where coaches accused him of, quote, giving up on a route. He reportedly said in the session, I'm not giving up on the route. I'm giving up on you. He was released the next morning from the team.
I think this is true.
I think that one is false.
Oh.
Just to be different.
And the point goes to Robert Horry. That is false.
Dang.
No, there was no NFL wideout named Jordan Sutter.
Look, heck if I know.
I'm just making people up. I'm just making people up. All right, number 5. Manny Ramirez, who is a real player.
Yes.
Of the 2011 Tampa Bay Rays, he retired mid-season to avoid a drug suspension. The true or false that Manny Ramirez, the great Manny Ramirez, just retired mid-season to avoid a drug suspension. This was in 2011 from the Rays.
I think that one's true.
Everybody thinks it's true. And everybody's correct. That is true. Manny Ramirez just retires mid-season. You're not going to suspend me. I quit. All right, number 6. NBA guard Orlando Jenkins retired mid-season, quote unquote, after going 0 for 17 from 3 in a single game. Before they could cut him, my man retired.
Is Orlando Jenkins a real player?
That's false, man.
Yeah, I'm leaning false too.
No, there ain't no Orlando Jenkins. Get out of here. Jesus Christ.
Orlando
17
Jenkins
from
played for
3.
Orlando Magic.
The Orlando Magic. Orlando
Now, if you're
Jenkins.
going 0 for 17 from 3, you might want to contemplate quitting, but,
Yeah,
you know.
well, that's a good reason to retire.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go. NFL cornerback Tyler Garrison quit at halftime after giving up 3 touchdowns in the first half. He told his coaches he had a migraine. He walked to the locker room. He never returned.
I'm going to go with false.
Okay.
Tyler Garrison,
Correct. NFL cornerback.
supposedly NFL cornerback.
You can suppose it all you want. Some of these are true. Some of these aren't.
I'm going to say true.
Okay. Well, Rob was right.
Yeah,
It's false.
yeah, I kind of thought so. Kind of thought so.
All right. I'll give you a real one that I know you didn't know the name. Andrew Luck.
Now, that's real.
That's a real man. Was booed so bad after a 2019 preseason game with the Indianapolis Colts that he immediately retired.
True.
Is that the reason that Andrew Luck actually retired?
No.
Well, no, he didn't.
No,
he didn't retire
no.
because of that, but he retired because of injuries. But
Oh, shit.
Yeah, no, that's false.
that's false. Yeah.
No, I'm saying, did he retire after a 2019 preseason game with the
Yes.
Indianapolis Colts?
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, well then you're both right there. Yeah, that's not the
Yeah,
main
but that
reason
ain't
he
the
retired.
reason.
But he got booed so bad.
Nah,
he got
that's
booed
Yeah,
bad.
he ain't never got. I don't ever remember him getting booed into retirement. Nah.
Well, I don't
He
think
got
anybody's ever been
booed bad,
into
though.
retirement. Yeah,
No, he was booed so bad in
they
that
booed
game.
him. He just left the field.
Yeah,
and then the
yeah,
next
yeah.
day he was like, yeah, I'm hurt, so I'm
Yeah.
out. All right, the 2019. Here's number 9. The 2017 Colorado Northern Mustangs. This was a college basketball team. Quit during their conference tournament because their bus broke down twice in the same week. They couldn't get to the tournament game, and their AD called it quits on the season. Is that true or false?
I want to say false because you're not going to day of games, so you can get your ass there. So I'm gonna say false on that one.
Bus broke
Something
down twice.
smells a little. It
Twice in
smells
the
a
same
little
week.
fishy. I'm gonna say false.
Okay. Yeah, that's false. But it did. That was a real team, and their bus did break down twice in the same week. It just didn't cause them to quit the season. All
Yeah,
right,
I don't
last
see that.
one. Here's a real person you absolutely know. Pitcher Carlos Zambrano of the Chicago Cubs quit mid-game in 2011 and said he was retiring, only to return 24 hours later.
I think this is true.
I think I heard this story. I think it's true too.
It is true. Yeah, Carlos Zambrano's like, I'm retiring because he had a bad game. And he's like, just kidding, I'm back. So that is this week's edition of Take Your Ball and
That's
Go Home,
funny.
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
All right.
And,
What do you
I'm
want?
gonna be honest with you. Notre Dame, I don't know how much longer. I think he did sign a contract extension, but that don't mean nothing. I don't know how much longer Marcus Freeman's gonna be there because he may get a call from the NFL in the next couple of seasons.
You think?
Maybe.
He might.
Look, NFL jobs look very attractive to college coaches because it's less work. And the more NIL, the
That's
more
true.
transfer
less
portal,
recruiting, less trying to.
you ain't got to worry about. Now you got to deal with grown men and their egos in the NFL. But
Yeah.
some would rather do that than deal with recruiting, re-recruiting, worrying about how much you're gonna pay here. And all, man, it's different.
It is. But then you might get a locker room full of Robert Horrys, and it's like, who the hell needs that?
A bunch of fucking winners.
Yeah, a bunch of winners.